lot.
Okay.
I know.
Argue. Require entry tag. There is.
This,
Yeah.
This is super. Nice to be this. We're in the garage out there. Who's your buddy?
Unless the people are listening. Yeah. Probably.
Something, you guys talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sanitation contract, that's something. That's so, it covers Terry right now. It's the extension you were asking about. There it is. So that.
Exactly, that's the thing. I'm more like 40 years old. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know how back. Yeah. So it could be that it's from, in the downside. Those events.
Yeah, right.
If it was not that. That's why. It's a hard time.
No, we were here.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to get started? You're just.
No, I can't start working.
Shows all that.
You can.
I went up when I got home.
All that information.
Dinner.
You have to go back home. Look at the meeting and say.
Yeah.
On that stuff.
You gotta wait.
Yeah. And,
Well,
well, I mean, I
you walk in the door. You're such a good one. He's still sitting there. I left him a mess.
Oh, even better.
Sorry about the mess. Well, we don't have that option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
You don't have to. Clark gonna fix it?
I'm not renaming plates either.
Everybody's turned to the flag back there. No, I guess we're praying first.
Lord, we thank you for this time. We pray, Lord, for your guidance, direction. We pray, God, that what takes place in these meetings would be beneficial to the community, present as well as future. I pray for your wisdom. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy. Good call, mate.
I'll have 1 minute. Steve Brogan.
Here.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Kevin Carter. Here. Joe Scott. Tom Roberts.
All right, board minutes. We got February 17th, which Tammy, Tom, and Adam can approve.
Make a motion to accept the special meeting minutes from February 17th, 2022, as written.
I make a motion to accept those minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, then we got the same thing with the March 30th.
I wasn't here.
Oh,
I'll do that.
oh, well, wait, we can't.
No, he wasn't there either,
I was.
That has to wait till next month.
because
It's not enough of us.
we don't have Joe.
Oh, it was me, Jill.
I make a motion that we accept the March 14th, 2022 minutes of regular town session as written.
I need a second.
Second. Last month's?
Yeah.
I said, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I abstain.
All right. Financial reports. We have,
Yeah, we don't have any. We didn't have our printers up until, so you don't have the revenue report and stuff. He just finished everything today. Sorry.
Delaware County Regional Monthly Report, wastewater district, pretty much standard stuff. I forgot to send it to everybody.
Yeah.
I will as soon as I get home.
Tomorrow. As soon as you get home tomorrow, it's a long trip.
But it was pretty standard stuff we go through here. Jason's done a good job of getting it to me.
Yeah.
Alarm repair, alarm battery replacements, inspect and spot checking manholes, high water call, this rechecking, lift station meter readings. I don't know, go through it all, lift station, lots of lift station stuff, so nothing out of the ordinary. So, thanks to Jason for being timely on that. I'll get it out to everybody. Okay. Departmental reports. Sanitation, Joe's not here.
But we need to think about the RFP for
Yes.
our new sanitation contract is up. When does it?
It's up in October. Hey, Joe?
Mhm.
Can you work on an RFP for us for this?
Sure.
And I was trying to see whether or not we could extend this.
There was,
We could do it monthly.
no, there was, we had, it was a one-year agreement, but years 2 and 3, we could extend, and they had given us the proposed rates for 2 and 3. I mean, that's a rough recollection from like 15 months ago.
Let's apply for this.
Yes.
I don't see anything in this agreement that says we can extend that in this particular case.
Because I remember seeing the rates are like 50 cents,
Or really
50-cent increase, 25
So that's
cents.
why it's not in here. Anyway, at this point, we got plenty of time, we can send out an RFP, in the meantime, we can look for, that agreement. And
That was the most recent agreement we had. That was the contract extension. The other one before, she probably had put in the rates in. But she just
Okay,
did
so
the
this is-
extension on that one.
This
That's
is
the extension.
Okay.
The other one, I'd have to,
do you want this, Jody?
Yeah, I may have it already, but like I might also.
Yeah, we can get something, get it out, in plenty of time and see what we get. Really may be adverse with the gas prices the way they are. Anything else with sanitation? You guys know anything?
Did the,
Large trash item is less than 20.
There's a week apart,
Yeah.
so the curbside large item is a week before the,
May 12th is the curbside and the next weekend is the dumpster. They're going to set them at None here, Davis Drive, Fire Station. And we're usually good. We're not doing 32, I know
Right.
that. Fire station, maybe the ballpark, we did the ballpark? I'd have to go back and look.
Sounds right.
It sounds
I
right.
think it is.
It might be in the last month minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I know, that's,
Amy, when are them coming?
May 12th is curbside, and the next weekend, like the 21st and 22nd, is the dumpsters. And we we were getting 2 dumpsters at each place, and we cut it back. So,
Yes, all this.
I can't remember 35, we took it away from here.
Five
And it
instead of
just go to
six.
2. I thought we quit doing 6, we were just doing 1 at each,
Five.
we reduced it.
To 5 instead of 6.
And we weren't putting any here at this corner.
Right.
They were doing, sorry. Davis Drive was one of them, and the fire station, I can't remember that.
Did the, portable toilets get
I think so.
ordered or placed or whatever?
I don't know.
Brad.
That was the part- Brad might know.
Porta potties over at Shellbar Park.
I presume.
I haven't seen them either. They're not there.
Yeah, he was gonna do it April through October according to our minutes, so.
Yeah.
I guess we need to check with Joe Scott. And see where he's at on that.
He might be waiting.
All right. Water. Wait, talk about anything, Brad? Since
Oh,
you're here?
we got our well going back. We got hit by lightning, so we're all good.
And also the Girl Scout office is now hooked up to water.
Yeah.
We were well before and it was failing, it was not very good, right?
Yeah. Everything else going fine?
Cookies should taste better.
Right?
All
I
right.
want them to taste any better.
That also here, probably in a month or so, we'll be running Chesterfield will be filling our water tower,
Okay.
because they're getting ready to do their water.
Okay.
Amy and I found out when we went to the round table at Essen House in Middlebury. And we found out that, of course, we had new rate increases that took effect this next month, right?
It was for the month of April, yeah.
There is a tax that the state legislative body had on their backs, basically eliminated.
URT tax, utility regulatory tax.
So every governmental unit has to reduce their rate by the amount of that tax so that we're not continuing to collect it and keep it as part of our profit. So we're gonna have to reduce our rate. It's gonna be like 50 cents per customer per month, I think.
We need to look into that because I checked what we taxed. We do a 7%
Sales tax.
sales tax. There's no special tax listed on anyone's bill that's a URT tax, so I'm not,
You know anything about that, Joe?
and I went into,
They
because
actually
every
do
month
this
I have to
every-
pay
yeah.
a URT tax, based on our sales and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and every month and then every quarter I pay.
Is it possible that we're exempt from that based off the size of our utility?
See, I've got to do
It's
some
usually
research.
segregated.
I have to pay as the town pays. I'm just saying, I don't see it anywhere on anyone's bill where they're charged the URT.
No, it's built in.
It's built into the sales
Right,
tax,
so we
but
have,
it is only a 7% tax that they are paying, so I just,
but that's sales tax.
right.
not building a sales tax, it's building.
But there's a
Well,
URC
we
tax
tax.
that the legislative body got rid of, and they want to make sure that everybody knows they got rid of it.
Gotcha, okay.
And so we have to actually go through and
Figure.
reduce our rate by the amount and it has to be on whatever she pays, the URC, you kind of have to back into how much the tax was. So,
And by July 1st.
we have to get it done by July 1st.
That's reasonable.
So,
Yeah.
so we can do something you didn't.
Such a fun meeting.
All right, any questions? For the water? Street, guess you're up again, you and Tammy.
All I know is Brad took a long vacation.
It was comp time, damn it.
Well, that's what he sent me in his email, so specific. But now they're working on the park, getting it open and getting things ready for the spring, so I don't think there's any issue.
Are all the repairs done, Brad, that had to be done last year on the water park? Was that completed, that repair? Wasn't there like a major repair that had to,
That was a couple years ago.
was that 2 years ago?
That was about 4 years ago. When I blew it up,
No, not that one.
Not that
Not that one, that was a biggie.
We remember that. You got the trees.
I don't think there was anything this year.
Oh, okay, so that's
the only thing we changed on with the splash pad, I am having a tank put over in the building next door. To have,
It's almost like that door's not closed.
It's not.
That's joking.
Oh.
to have, my acid brought in here, so I can have it involved too. It's cheaper. That's a little more for it too. That chlorine did go up.
Yeah, trust me, I know that.
All right.
So I'm buying it in bulk to get it cheaper.
All right, P and Z. Jimmy.
And we had a few issues we've decided to deal with. We're gonna send, we sent one to Steve and one we're waiting to see what happens at the house again, so.
Police, no one's here. So, you know, anything?
All was quiet. Majority of last month was spent trying to make this place livable. So, all is quiet.
So,
Well, you know, there are a couple things. Officer Herschel accepted a new position, and we're gonna need to either replace him or come up with a plan to cover the amount of hours that he was putting in.
he was part-time.
He was part-time, but I think right at 30 hours. It needs to be just like on top of mind but we need to come up with ways of either finding another part-time person or
Expanding hours.
yes,
Other guys.
yes, yeah, we need to do something along those lines.
Always cheaper to expand hours than it is to hire another person.
The other guys that pretty much the max can be.
For part-time, you have to go
Yes.
full-time.
30 hours.
So, okay, so the option would be
Something.
bump somebody to full-time.
Dancing around it a little bit, but we need to do something. We're gonna have a gap in coverage.
The trouble with going to full-time is we're paying a part-time with one-time monies. And a full-time person would be reoccurring monies, and so we'd have to come up with close to $50,000. Yeah.
That's recurring, not one time.
Wouldn't it be better to maybe have 2 part-time people?
Well, that's what we've had.
Oh, Herschel is just one of those people.
The
Well,
problem is the other one that we have is a very good officer, knowledgeable, dependable, and we could lose yet another part-time person, and then we're rolling the dice again on who we get as a replacement.
It's probably hard
We
to
cannot
get
lose 2
part-time
full part-time. We can't.
It's probably hard to get part-time people, I would suspect.
Yeah, it's almost as hard to get part-time people as it is to get reserve officers. Reserve officers are.
so Herschel went to Tipton Police Force full-time. And that's what's gonna happen to Curtis if we don't do something, so. We're trying to work and see if we can come up with that money. That's a lot of money to come up with, so. All right.
There's comment from the audience.
Just a question. You said you have, so Curtis is the other part-time person? So you're thinking maybe potentially, if we could afford it, that you would have a full-time person? Would that be offered to the part-time person who's there and then,
Yeah, we have
Still-
full-time Curtis.
okay, so that's what I was wondering. But then would you still need somebody part-time? If you had a full-time officer,
No,
would you not need 2 part-time people?
We have been told by the department that they could cover it with a single full-time person.
That was exactly what I needed to know, thank you.
So what, from a So from a budgetary standpoint, I understand what has, but what would we have to do as a board? We have to approve it, increase to the budget?
Amendment to the salary.
No.
Well, it'd be
Amendment
a
to the salary.
minimum, it's a salary ordinance, but yeah, but we've gotta come up with the money. Yeah, general fund.
We have a line for part-time officers. One line for 2 officers. And that line does not, I'll tell you right now, does not cover 2 part-time officers all year. So there's money that we get yearly, well, on a monthly basis, that's public safety funds. That could go, except for the fact that we use part of our public safety funds to fund our SRO officer Norris when he's not working at the school and he works for the town. We use some public safety funds for that.
Mm.
It's just this juggling game that, and if you get grant, let's say you get a grant. When the grant runs out, what do? Tell the officer to take a hike? I mean,
Now, technically, Officer Morris is on a grant.
yes,
If that grant goes away,
He's,
his position goes away.
yeah,
so he actually technically is another part-time officer being funded by a grant.
So he's full-time.
he's
Oh, he's
full-time,
full-time.
because he works for the town when school's not in session. That's what we pay out of public
Right.
safety.
But the SRO pays 75%
5% of it, yeah.
All right, are we move on? Park Department. The president of the Park Department is here tonight.
I am, but Amy took the notes and she has them up there because I wasn't gonna be here. So she is going to give that because she literally took the notes and has them, but if there's anything you need to know, I'm happy to expand on.
Okay, so we touched on several things. You guys just tell me what else if I go. First thing was trees at, Park down under Bicentennial Park. There, we had to remove, or we're going to, they're not on yet, remove 5 of them and trim 10, where's he at?
Altogether.
Altogether.
10.
No, altogether, we're gonna take care of 10 trees.
7 trees are coming down.
Oh, 7 are coming down?
Seven.
Okay.
And how much is that?
$3,900.
All right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we allow the Parks Board to spend $3,900 for tree and removal and cleanup.
I'll second.
Any discussion? This company we've had before many times, they really give us a real fair price, and they're very good at what they do.
So I'm all for it. I just, on the discussion side, didn't we already approve the spending of like 5,000 for that park?
That was for the,
That's for the pavilion?
yeah, that was for the pavilion,
Okay,
yes. I mean, well, you gave us like a discretionary $5,000.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
and we
For
chose to use it on the
The,
pavilion because it's in such disrepair.
And
So, and that is, we are on the guy's schedule for June.
Okay.
So it should be done by
we
June.
got that
So,
approved at the last.
Yeah, the tree issue is it's one that's been brought to our attention more recently. So we weren't aware of that until more recently and they desperately need to be attended to. So,
Anything else?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
No, we
Oh,
don't.
I'm sorry, I was going to say.
we're still on discussion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye, anybody opposed? Okay, next.
Something
Water.
related to that though.
Okay, go ahead.
Brad, Brad, you and I were talking about, and then I talked to Amy about the possibility of trying to get trees again. Before we got some
Arbor
trees,
Day or
Arbor Day,
wherever we got, I don't know where it was
Replace.
from.
So we're not just taking trees down, but replacing them as well.
The school park has a bunch of blue spruce trees they're trying to
No,
put up.
Mounds Park, they give us.
Mounds Park,
Mounds Park, we go through the state through Mounds Park, and that's where we got the other ones.
So what kind do we want any,
You just,
do we want blue, like, he's got access to blue spruce. What do you want down
Are
there?
they the Christmas tree style or are they
Yes.
all?
Blue spruce?
They're beautiful ones.
Well, blue spruce are okay, but they're not a shade
they're
tree.
definitely not a shade tree, but they are pretty, but they're not a
pretty.
shade.
They'd be
Probably
more
wouldn't
for
want
Okay, so
all.
we could do a
landscape.
combination.
Yes, absolutely. But we're gonna need some hardwoods down there for shade trees.
You remember who you went through? We did talk about that too.
All right,
Okay,
let's just work together and get her done.
And we talked about there's gonna be some potentially down there, right?
Yeah.
That in the town hall part, that are gonna potentially, and we haven't got to that yet. But if we do, then you'll see where I'm coming, but there may be potential for some that are down there that we would like to have moved, potentially put them there. So we haven't got there
we
yet,
haven't
but
gotten to that one yet.
That's tree stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a few of those blue spruce right at the end of that parking lot, when you're looking at that house.
Yeah.
You know, you have the tall grass
Oh, here.
to the
yes.
right, yeah, over here.
Would you want like arborvitae's then?
I know those things grow so fast and
What
then
They,
those arborvitaes or vites or whatever you call them, yes,
they,
like 3 to 5 feet a year they grow.
Oh, you're talking about hiding the,
yeah, once they're established,
Yes,
if you're talking about hiding something, that's the way to go.
Jazzy's just advertised they had
You're,
a bunch of the large giant
These
ones for like
take a long-
20 bucks.
it Might take 5 to 6 years for them to start covering.
Better than what we got there now.
I'm just saying.
Well, they're redoing that house.
Oh, they are,
Somebody bought that house.
okay.
Yeah.
Man, we have, but houses being purchased and fixed up.
I can't wait.
They're redoing, Mike Cantrell, he's redoing that house.
Oh, really?
Simpson House.
They're
Oh,
redoing
Is
that.
that down here, this old house is getting fixed up?
Yes, they are.
I know it.
They are
We gotta
fixing.
start giving awards to people.
They
who
have
do that.
already,
It's not
they've already
recognition.
got, they're doing a privacy fence on the creeper side and,
Is that the last name?
yes. It's a technical term. And then, of course, you see they've got siding already on, partially on
I
my
did
side,
see that.
and I even like the
I
color.
figured you were real happy.
I'm super happy.
Color.
I do, yeah. It's looking good. All
I
right.
really do think that it'd be nice for us to recognize them when they do that. Maybe, I don't know.
Bake them some cookies.
I agree with
Get
that.
my little housewarming
I
kit.
agree with that.
Just to encourage people to, what
Sure.
they're doing is really
Yeah.
improving
Yeah.
the town.
I like a thank you letter for improving, such an improvement or a
And maybe a
beautify, like you could be,
That's where I was going.
what is it?
a gift card
Gift card.
or something.
Yeah, for sure. But a letter along with it, obviously
All
recognizing
right,
it, but
which one of
sure.
you guys are gonna do that?
Trina.
Well, that's.
Oh, wow. She's not here. I vote for Trina too.
Trina does write the letters.
Yes, she
She does a
does.
very good
She
job.
does.
Something like that.
All right, I will ask Trina.
For one of our Daleville businesses, perhaps?
Oh,
That's not a
yeah.
bad idea.
That's a good idea.
Keep it local, even if it's just a Starbucks or a
Mexican
Subway
restaurant.
or the Mexican restaurant. Those Mexican restaurant people, they're so nice.
Oh, they
I
are.
love
Very
them.
good and quick.
And it's, I know, I love them. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Go ahead, Amy. Next.
Yes, next.
Okay, we talked about the water hookup for the dog park. Sounds like we probably can get it done in 2023 is what we're. It's just a big
I thought we
process
changed that to a tank.
Until we got it done.
until
Because
we
he
get.
said it has to be done. So we were trying to figure out a way, because we're coming into obviously our busy season, how we could maybe like accommodate the animals that were already back there. So Brad, we talked about a tank of some sort with water that was okay for animals to drink. So that at least they could fill up like their little collapsible bowls or something like that.
And have our permanent idea by
Right,
then, and see
yes,
if it works.
And he said that he has to have it back there, so he estimated a timeline at sometime by 2023. So at least they would have water back there for the animals.
Let's see, the park board is suggesting a basketball court that could be used for pickleball too, behind the newly established hub in that area that we own, that grassy area. Making it a basketball court with asphalt,
Parking.
it would accommodate our parking, overflow parking for our biggest events. And then we wouldn't have it wouldn't be everyday parking for the splash pad, but it would definitely be for overflow parking. And it could be marked basketball, pickleball too. I mean, people that do pickleball, we could bring in their own pickleball net and stuff. It wouldn't have a permanent net because it can be used for basketball, but
It would just be a half court
yeah.
if we did something like
Depends
that.
on how, but I'm going to work with Brad on getting some quotes on paving for that.
Now, Adam brought this to us as well, but in a different vein with the schools. Is that still one to be discussed or?
Yeah, I think the only gotcha is for, let's say the school decides to use it for some type of competition, or if there's ever a league, state sanctioned league or something like that. They're saying that the surface needs to be similar to that, like the tennis court, that coating, and I think a car would just destroy it. So I don't know if we can get it close and that be acceptable. Maybe it's just good for practice or whatever, and they could use that. I don't know how smooth of a surface we could get asphalt, maybe a sealed asphalt or something like that. But I said, if we do it, then we would just give it our best effort and say, you're more than welcome to use it, or
Or not.
not. Yep.
And that's kind of where we were
Yeah.
thinking, ultimately, our goal is for parking, but the fact that it can be used for so many other things, potentially a practice for pickleball or a basketball, or gosh, it could be Foursquare for all I care, just so long as it's,
Didn't you talk about the vendors possibly
no.
setting up there too? Or not?
No, I don't recall, I don't think
We kind of shuffled around with what we could do with it.
yeah, we
But
probably tossed
it's
out so
nothing like
many things,
said.
but yeah, absolutely, food trucks could go there if we wanted to do something like that, get them out of the way, and then we wouldn't have to block off all of that area, so there are, I think,
Yeah,
possibilities
Brad-
for that are endless.
Brad said there's a good possibility you could pull electricity from that pole for food vendors if we needed to,
Yeah.
correct? Didn't you tell me that?
Last
time.
time, right? Last month, we talked about that, I think.
If we would,
Yeah, you just have.
because we would get them off that main drag, so.
Right, yeah, we get them off that main drag, it wouldn't necessarily have to be closed down, and we wouldn't lose that parking.
Our plan is to get
Estimates.
estimates, and then we'll bring them to you when we get them.
Well, ask them whether or not they know of a way to make it more usable for like real pickleball. And what the difference in cost would be.
And still accommodate the parking.
Right.
Yes.
You can't
If
park
that's
on
even
So they have
possible
something
for
they
you.
can
Well,
use.
for what we could,
Tammy was looking it up,
Yeah.
she looked up an official, because we did talk about that, an official one, and it has, not necessarily, but something like what was that, rubberized, what was it called, not, a silicone.
Silica. You can't park on it.
And you can't park, you definitely could not park on an official one.
if you're doing a license.
Yeah, but if you were doing like an
Competition,
IHSAA
sanctioned
kind of thing,
part.
yeah, but just for like everyday kind of stuff, or practices or something like that, absolutely.
Yeah, it would probably be a good thing for
All
that.
right, well, yeah. Okay. Next.
The next thing I have is the park board. We are doing the concert series, and we worked really hard getting sponsors, but we would like to see if the town board would designate some money to help us out with the concert series. We have, I sent an email out to you guys requesting whatever funds you could think we could do.
So what's the total?
That would be me.
It's 7,000, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so initially, in the past, we've done, the last one I know for sure, we did $6,000 for 3 bands. So this year, he's trying to get us to do 4, which is fine, we talked about doing 4 anyway. And so, at a cost of potentially $7,500, but he's got some kind of fundraiser going on and somebody else willing to sponsor. So we can get it down to, and get a better band for $7,100. So we get 4 bands, I know, it makes no sense, but
It originally should be
it
9,000.
originally should be $9,000. He's got somebody willing to sponsor half of his and $500 of one of the other bands. So that reduces it down, bringing it to $7,100.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say need more money.
No, $7,100.
So do we actually have to have that band, a better band?
We definitely do not have to have that better band.
Now, we do have some money.
How much do you
Yes.
have?
So we oh, Tammy, it's a joke. So anyway,
We requested.
yes, so anyways, we have, how much, we've got like what, $500, $450?
500.
We've got $500 from our donations that we've sent out letters and stuff to. Having said that, while I was sitting here, Meyer has agreed to give us money. They just don't know how much, according to David Hubble. He reached out to a contact there and said that, the guy said that he didn't know, because he wasn't in a position to look, how much he had allocated towards other things, but that he would definitely give us some money. Now, we have no idea how much that's gonna be. It's from Meyer. I don't know if they give $100 or if they give $5,000. So I guess we can't really say for sure how much that's going to be.
So can we just make I would entertain a motion that would say we would fund potentially up to $6,600 minus whatever donations.
So, yeah,
additional new donations they get. I would
If we get donations, then the amount the town would pay would be less.
Reduces.
So,
And we'll still work really hard on making.
Yes, I've still got 2 people call-ins and we're still working towards it. It's just a very slow process, it appears.
You got anything for me?
Trina deals with her on other issues, so,
We run into trouble with,
because we're tapping the same people for donations, and Trina said she sent her a letter. So we're trying to avoid the people that Trina sent a letter to and tap into some new revenue streams. So,
Trina taps into them.
Do we know how
That's
much more the, chlorine is gonna be this year, like supply wise?
Huh?
Do we know how much that is gonna be more
How much
this
chlorine went
year?
up?
do you know, is it like 20%? Is it $100? Do you know, Brad, off like
No, I
guesstimation?
will find out. I know it went up
It went up significantly, didn't it?
$3 to $5 a gallon.
Now, he does really good by buying it in
In
bulk.
bulk, yeah.
It
But
cuts
it is,
up price,
it's
but
been,
that's the majority of
the
our
last 2
budget ends
years.
up going up.
It went up that much?
Yes. No, it's
Yes,
expensive.
it went up.
And how many times do we fill that tank in a year?
Say that amount again, I missed it.
$3 to
$5.
So 4
A gallon,
Oh,
and that's a 500 gallon tank?
300 gallon.
300 gallons. So if it went up $4 a gallon, if it was at 0, that's $1,200.
Times 2.
Times two.
2, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, most of our budget goes towards that,
the chemicals.
the chemicals for the splash pad. I mean, we know that between that and, like landscaping and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys help with
the
as well.
So are you gonna ask us for money for the fireworks as well?
I believe that we got that sponsored, am I correct?
Yes, they are sponsored.
They are sponsored, yes. So I don't think we're going to need that as of this moment. I was told that that was sponsored,
It
so
is.
Isn't that good, guys?
Mhm, that's
Yeah.
good, guys.
Good guys.
I don't foresee needing anything large right now. We've got movies, we've got all of that kind of stuff. These concerts, I think are gonna be the most.
What we struggle with the concerts is because we can't tap into the same thing we do for the festivals, so we're.
How much did you say it would be different if you didn't use the other big band, if you just did 3? How much money?
Well,
there?
if we only do 3, I believe I'm guesstimating, he didn't break it down for me like he normally does. And he normally does break it down for me, but I'm guesstimating that it would be right around $6,000. And if that's the case, and then, if part of 2 of their fees got sponsored, then we're down to like $4,000.
Depending on which bands. 'cause
Depending-
We only,
I know,
the
so.
sponsorship money is exclusive to
To
certain
certain
bands.
bands. Okay, like Cook and Bell are $3,000. So if somebody sponsors half of theirs, which is what he's saying, brings it down to $1,500. And if we allow him to bring his son on board,
Is that the other big band?
no. The other big band is Toy Factory. I'm assuming, he didn't say that, but I'm assuming because I've seen them, and they're like a large band, there are a lot of people, that's a big sound. I can justify why they are $3,000 for 2 hours, as opposed to like 2 people are $3,000 for 2 hours, you know what I mean, like, that's a big band. So I assume that they are the other large band, but he didn't say that. So, does that answer your question, Tammy?
Yeah, because it ends up, the total price would have been 9,000.
Right, so we're getting a little bit of a discount doing it this
And
way.
then we usually donate how much for fireworks?
Usually
Isn't that
15 to
2,500?
2, is it,
15 to 2, depends,
I think it's right, I would say
Depends on the
2-ish.
So we're
Yeah.
still staying the same. I'll make a motion to spend up to 6,500,
Okay,
is that what it?
Okay,
I'll second.
Discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay.
Up to 6,500.
So, yeah, you guys are talking about what I want to talk about.
he just asked.
And I think that's all, make sure that's all for,
I don't have the paper in front of me, but that,
I think that's it. Other than, we're gonna ask about the mulching problem.
okay, so, but just God, I hate to use this term, but I'm gonna circle back. We talked about the
So I'm
trees.
glad you didn't want to do the report.
Very, very, I know, very, very quickly though, if we're able to do basketball, pickleball or whatever, there are trees there. So that's what we were referring to earlier.
That we're gonna give them.
Those trees could potentially be moved down there. So that's what I was gonna mention.
So you'll be saving money.
Right. Yes,
Thank you,
saving
Tammy. I'm all about saving money. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, well,
Can we move on?
yes.
Thank you. No.
Oh, no, he wanted to ask about something.
The guy that set the fireworks off, his name came up in the planning and zoning meeting. We're getting ready to send him a letter. His house is in terrible shape. Jay Maddox,
That's,
Yeah,
so you want to take that into consideration.
absolutely, because we should not be, allowing him to benefit from that. And the other side of it is I have not been really impressed with the fireworks the past couple of years. I think that the quality has went down compared to years past. Now, the number.
No, I don't
the
disagree.
number-
I
the
don't
number of
disagree with you.
fireworks-
The length is there. The height is not. Okay, I guess what I'm thinking.
Whatever,
You know what I'm talking about.
yes,
It's a long show.
yes.
But not
those are two
necessarily-
separate issues, and he's farmers during these days.
We should not be paying some
There's,
Just buy the service.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not
I
sure.
agree.
I have a-
100%.
if we did not, yeah, who else does fireworks if we would not
I
have
think
them?
we're paying a discounted.
I'm not saying he should be exempt, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying,
Do we have somebody to replace it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I would,
if that becomes an
If it
issue.
becomes an issue, do we have a backup? And that's not a bad plan anyway. You could get hit by a car tomorrow, we don't know.
Well, it looks like he's just buying off the shelf fireworks.
Yes,
Yeah.
he buys those from Hershey's.
Right, and what I'm saying is I would much rather see us have a 15 to 20 minute show of amazing fireworks as opposed to 45 minutes of, you know.
Okay.
that's-
Put on by our fire department,
I'll go along with that. Cause
Me too.
it's actually, it's too long.
Sometimes I think it does get a little too long and they're not always like super big. And they don't all have to be, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but I definitely think the first couple of years we had it, it was like super stellar. And maybe I see what you're saying. You know, they're good, don't get me wrong, I'll go watch it, but I can see what.
That's something else Brad can do. You want-
Don't
Never
give
fire
him a
department.
badge of a firework. Don't do that.
Okay, want to discuss this more?
Well, I would just, no, my only thing is I would definitely like to see some type of change.
Do we just give him like an X amount of dollars and he buys them and sets
Yes.
them off?
That's.
He does it all. You
Okay,
do
so
nothing.
someone from the fire, so can the fire department set them off if we don't have Jay do it?
he does have his computer hooked up to it and does it very, I
The
just.
fire department, I think we have to send somebody to class to do it.
Thank you. So who would let him off if he does it?
Right. That's a question. We don't know.
Good question.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume you have to have some kind of a licensing or.
Well,
I mean,
can you find out what the licensing costs? Because once someone has that license, they can also buy the better fireworks.
well,
I'll bet, Joe Rex knows, since that's what their law firm does a lot of.
I was actually gonna suggest you guys talk to Tim Smith, who's on the Summit Town Council. He sells those types of things and shoots them as well. And you guys are gonna have to find a much bigger, you're not gonna be able to shoot them over here if you're gonna want big stuff. You have to have a lot of space between those fireworks and a lake, so.
So like you could set them off over here and
Oh,
not have,
No,
not have people over
We
here.
have to have so much distance between where the fireworks are being shot and even buildings or anything.
you have to go to the school to sit the vehicles off.
Or the ball field, is that?
Yeah, you have to go back there where they have the truck pull.
Yeah, back where the truck pulled.
Cause you have to drill down, you have to put
Track,
the steel down in the ground.
track's fenced in, and the school lets you do it in the infield of
We
the
do
track.
like it at the splash pad. Don't we?
I don't know, the school would be a nice place too.
You can see it with the splash pad if we shot at the school, that's for sure.
If they're that big, they would
Yeah, I
definitely be
would-
able to.
I would
Yeah,
like to
you
have
still
better
have things
fireworks
going
show.
down here.
The school would be, I mean, you would have more parking, you would have more.
Hey, Joe, you have a number for
grounds,
Tim
you would have-
Smith?
I do. And for the.
Well, they also,
For reference,
people would still
he
get
does work
the
on.
sticks splash pad,
Yeah,
getting
I
food
go to that
or
one,
doing
yeah.
whatever.
That's what-
Or you could move it temporary, since that's just staying in a tent.
Here it is.
For the 4th of July.
Amy, do you think that would mess with our? No, we would just move it down there, wouldn't we? We could just move our, because we sell the glow sticks and stuff for the fire.
Yeah, no, sure.
Are you get, okay, you're getting the numbers, okay?
Line down that it anyways.
Yeah.
You know, by the time it's gotten dark, I mean, we're
Thank
talking
you.
about 10 o'clock.
And it's, yeah, people are, they're coming in for the fire.
Industries is the biggest fireworks
Right.
distributor in the Midwest.
Michael Green.
I actually have his
Yeah.
cell phone number.
Hold over that.
Okay.
Are you
I just
ready?
texted him a message.
Oh, see if he
She's
does.
gonna, she'll let her
So-
investigate it.
I got,
A shorter, more explosive.
let me just write that terminology down.
30 minutes.
Shorter.
And then he would, because he would be able to give you discounts and all that stuff.
Well, I know the guy that owns North Central Industries, who is the biggest firework distributor in the Midwest.
And she just sent me.
I just sent him a message.
Okay, when do you guys work on that, come back next month?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we may,
That park board is moving, Don.
Come
listen,
back next month.
you do for us, we do for
It was time to discuss it anyways. It's-
It was good timing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Okay,
Did we vote on
so
this yet? The
you
65?
voted up, yes, you did, up to $6,500.
All right, ready to move on. Claim docket. Can I get a motion?
Make motion to accept the claim docket.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye, anybody opposed? All right. Anything update on the ADA title?
I think we're,
Oh, we're done with that.
Yeah, I thought we were done with that.
Why is this so under?
Oh, yeah, you guys did all that last time, but I don't think it was, that's the one that didn't get signed.
Oh, where's it at?
Should be in there.
okay.
That's it.
Yeah, the salary, or not a salary, it's
That's right. We didn't sign it last month, we can sign it next month.
if you find it.
Okay, ready?
Or,
New business. ARP solar. So, yeah, talk about the bid.
Yeah, so the bids finally came in, for the, solar project. And just a second, let me get those up. Let's say the total for both projects was roughly around 300,000.
One was 445, the other 407,068 total. Really broke it down more than that?
Did you get the is that including the update today without the flex?
Oh, no.
It's a lot cheaper than that. It's fine.
Sorry.
I hate my email when it pulls all the emails together.
There we go. Okay, so it was, yeah, so I was a little wrong. The recommended was 111 and 265.
New town hall would be 111,000. Is that exact?
Well, 111,078.
And the utility,
265.
265.
And what company was that?
Yes, even.
And what was the company that had the 111?
And, yeah. On the court, and GRNE was the other,
So it's approximately 376,000.
yes.
Now, new town hall is paid for with, not with art monies. No, it's with other monies.
That's the 111?
Yeah.
James, what was that, the FNE? I cannot think, what was the other
FFE
fund?
money?
There's another chair up here. You guys could fight over.
We gotta help each other up when we get up. Well, there's 70,000 from the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. And that's what we were told to call for the solar
Yes.
here. So,
Gave us new bids. Is
They
that what
took
you're
out the
saying?
fence. Because they didn't, no one realized we don't need a fence.
Oh,
So all I did was reduce the fence out of it. So,
So so in essence, we have asked for a rebid in the sense of, we said, take the fence out, now what's the bid?
mhm.
So to answer your question, we've already asked them.
To take it out, so that's what, these have been adjusted. So, he said for the new town hall, so 70,000 for the county, and where's the other one again?
265, 270.
No, that one is it, the 41.
Why would we take
Yeah,
it out?
the big one was the 145.
Right, and that's the same.
Why would we, because we have 166,000.
Of course, 5,000 more there.
So overall, they're lower.
So Joe, really, overall, we look at it
so
as
they
one
just
bid.
sent that to you guys today.
Omnicore is the
Yeah.
lowest bid.
Yeah,
Yeah, just,
that's how you're gonna do it.
Now, if you separate it, and
because we're still trying to get clarification.
yeah, I had asked them to give us clarification whether or not they would take it separately.
Yeah.
But they didn't get back to us.
I mean, it's, either way, yeah, it's, you can still pick whichever bid you want, if there's only half, like, some justification for it, you can't just pick a higher bid because, you know, not, you know, the actual reason.
But if you want to keep it with one company,
That could be the reason,
that could be the reason.
Yeah. for $5,000.
I don't know what you think about Omnicore.
I have
You're,
no opinion on it, I don't know anything about the
I don't either.
except
And
to
they
trust them,
scored.
tell them.
they scored them and they were within 4 points of each other. No, really
So
close.
that's, yeah. That could be, give or take 5 points in
Yeah.
the evaluation.
So,
So Amy was asked a question, I think it's a good question. 41K that we need to finish the new
Yes.
town hall, that would come out of our money.
or I take it out, or we take it out of ed.
So our board had it. Okay.
How long is your bids good for?
Sorry?
How long is the bids good for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
60 days.
Yeah, but we need to get it going
Yeah, we gotta get going.
for the net metering.
Yeah,
You already
but
lost time already.
we're about, yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the project through
Omnicore.
Omnicore, yes, thank you.
For both projects.
For both projects.
Can I get a second?
Where's on the core out of?
What's that?
Where's on the core out of?
Markoville, I think.
Or state.
Valparaiso.
Battle Creek, so.
He told me his business was in Markoville last month.
And they all be the
Maybe it's
same.
Markoville, Valparaiso.
Yeah.
Twin Cities.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's-
Maybe he didn't know where was that. Okay, so we have a
Well, they're
second.
different
Dis-
offices.
So discussion. I mean, this is a major project. So, know that, the first original estimate, well, I think 220 for the water utility, and now it's 265.
Oh.
But that's a year ago, and materials have gone up.
Mhm.
Everything's gone up a lot since then. And the other one, I still don't,
Well, the other side of it is electric rates are going up as well, significantly. So whatever we do, even if we're paying more upfront right now, we are still, it's gonna cancel itself out pretty quickly.
any thoughts, Tammy, down there?
I'm just looking at what he just sent me, I'm just,
Go another minute to look at it, or we can talk a little bit longer.
no, I guess if, I
We
mean,
can come back
nothing's
to-
changed other than that, I mean. I'm fine.
Army Corps would have been less on both of them before we asked the fence to be taken out.
So, the original, quote for both places was what? You know, total was original? Well, let me ask you this way, the new town hall, did that change at all? That quote?
Yeah, it went up about 30K
Not from the original estimate,
from the
Yeah,
original.
yeah.
not from the, the only thing they were doing, adjusting bid wise, was taking the fence out of the utility. So there was no change in that bid
Okay,
from the March 30th date
okay,
to now.
gotcha.
We're ready to vote?
Yeah.
You should make sure, this is big time stuff.
There are the funds to cover it, though,
We
right?
got our funds, we got utility funds, and we got edit money, and we have redevelopment money.
And then,
And then keep in mind that, that's an investment, because
Right, 'cause
we're not
we
gonna have to
sell
pay
money,
electricity for the town hall or the utility.
correct, and if there's extra or whatever, they can sell it back to them, or.
The credits, you get credits.
It's essentially built, both grids are built at an estimate 85% of our demand. We cannot produce more than we consume. So essentially, the way it works is that we get bill credits through the summer. We build credit, because we're gonna be,
Because then you use more.
and we use more than one, so it starts digging into that.
Okay.
There's a buffer, like a small percentage that you can have as a carryover, but it's minimal. The idea is not to, for like places like us to become utilities.
Right.
Use it as profit, whatever. It's based off of our consumption. So it should cancel out our utilities for both buildings, mostly.
Okay, all right, Amy, let's do roll call.
Steve Brogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Tammy Carter,
Yes.
Tom Burns.
Yes. All right,
On the roll.
public comments on Old Town Hall usage. Does anybody have any thoughts on the Old Town Hall? And any great ideas? We have one that's approached us.
What's that?
The Delville Community Church has expressed interest in the front half of the building. And they've actually met with us a few times and taken a look at the building and looked at how they could change it. And they don't want to buy it, they want to rent it or lease it. And right now, I don't think, I'm not ready to make a solid decision on what to do with the building. I just kind of wanted things to settle in, the dust to settle. And so I don't mind leasing it for a year, maybe even 24 months if we have to, until things settle in and we decide what really we want to do with it, whether it's to tear it down and build something there or whatever.
I want to preface that with, if we don't have any other interest and the church is interested, based off of the changes that they want to fund, I think that a long-term lease would be in order. That would be a significant investment on their part, and I don't think I'd want to go that route. Like a 1 or 2 year lease, I don't think that is in good faith to them. But I also would really like to see what else is out there, and are there other ways to, earn some revenue off of this building, or what can we do? But I also don't want whatever we do to impact the park in any way.
That's kind of what I was thinking, exactly. I want to know how it's gonna affect the park. I'm not opposed to somebody renting it or anything like that, but if it's the church or another organization that's there all the time, parking is already a real problem down there. And so that would be my main thing for anybody who uses it. Because let's just say it was the church or any other organization, and they had a certain night or a day or whatever they were gonna be there. If they have quite a few people there, that takes up a lot of our parking. And, what if they wanted to have it twice a week or something, So that was my thought on it. Having just one person rent it, no matter who it is, even in a short term, long term, no matter what. If they had something every Sunday or every Tuesday or every whatever day it was, what it might do for our parking.
Yeah, I anticipate every Sunday morning. And we had talked to them about that. Talked to them about how their services would be before the splash. We'd open the splash pad at 11 or 11:30 those days on Sunday. And that church would be over by 10:30 and give it an hour or 30 minutes to disperse the parking. So Sundays, I think we can handle.
So then that would impact our park.
No,
What's that?
no.
But we normally open earlier than that though, right?
Usually, yes, but we can open a little bit later
And,
on Sundays.
well, we can open a little bit later every day. I mean,
Well,
if
there's
that's,
no reason to.
well, I'm just
doesn't have
saying
that
it,
every day.
no matter when it is, we can open, we can make all kinds of changes, we can do whatever we want, but, if it is a church per se, and it's a normal Sunday kind of a thing, then that does put that, so it would, what Tammy just said, to what she just said, we said it might not impact it. We
Right,
just
what
said
time
it
is Pat open?
wouldn't impact it.
What time's a pad open normally? 9 or 10?
10.
10.
Yeah.
So it affects it an hour and a half.
Right.
James?
Well, with everything moving over here, I think you guys are gonna stay there, right? Even with the front part, 'cause I know you guys were discussing the park earlier, funds and stuff like that. Either lease it, or it will draw money in to the town, or you could use it for stuff like that. Because if not, with the town owning that, there's no tax dollars that's gonna come into the town, because they own it.
Right.
If you want it set empty and you might have somebody come in and like you was talking about renting a facility, like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, or whatever, you're not gonna generate really that much money on that, probably pay more on utilities
Yeah.
as you're leasing it.
Yeah.
So if you get like the church that wanna lease it, and it's a decent amount, that's gonna bring revenue back into the town. Or eventually, if somebody wants to come in, build townhomes or whatever, anywhere in that area, then that's gonna generate tax dollars, and that's gonna bring more people to the community, which generates more tax dollars. So those ways, to me, would be the easiest to generate money back to the town, because if not, you're gonna have that building over there.
Yeah.
And we all know you want a building set for a while, you're gonna have to, pay for upkeep and everything, then now the town's gonna pay the upkeep. But as long as you're drawing money in from it, you'll be able to take care of all that stuff.
Right.
I have a comment from somebody that must have been watching.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that as well.
You got,
You got one too?
Yeah.
oh,
No,
okay,
that's the same one, I'm just monitoring them.
Oh,
Kristen,
okay.
yeah, it should be used as a community center for people to host events or parties. That is what Daleville needs.
I agree. Moreland's got one that's got a basketball court in it, so like during the winter, like my husband's looking for somewhere to rent to play basketball that's close to here to where people that live a little bit further from us, it's not too far to play during winter. So I was thinking of somewhere to rent for parties, and then they got the splash pad right there.
I grew up with a community center in Yorktown, so of course I wouldn't be opposed to that either, but I'm not opposed to the other either. Just, you said you were thinking about like ideas and stuff, so,
I have,
and we've talked about it too, so.
we've had people, before when we used it as a conference room, there was people that would rent, well, no, take that back, when we took possession of the Lions Club. And we rented out Lions Club until it got replaced. People rented that out for Thanksgiving family events, Christmas family events.
How much were we getting for it?
I don't,
That's what we do in Moreland for our Easter and for.
people with large families that don't have one house that can meet at, so, and that's,
But how would that, just playing devil's advocate.
No, that's fine. I'm not for or against anything. He said ideas and here's some.
So I would be willing to put the church idea off for a year to see how it's like a community center would work. I have the same concerns like what James brought up, as well as does it rent enough to sustain itself?
Right.
And then the other side would be is, how would that impact the park? Do we just keep it closed on weekends, or, like, people are gonna wanna rent it on the weekends when people are also wanting to use the park. So we have to tightly manage that as well.
Yeah.
My concern is that instead of the church doing all the remodeling, we have to do the remodeling.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be thousands of dollars, because it really needs some work done to it.
if you're gonna rent it out for birthday parties and dinners, there's minimal you'd have to do. As in, but if you were doing something much more than that, yeah, it would be a lot more remodeling, but, the kitchen would have to be turned back into a kitchen, so.
If you guys are gonna lease it, just say you're gonna lease it to the church, can't you work with the church? A lot of churches have the community centers within their area. They have, like, she's talking about the basketball courts and stuff, where the youth can come in and play basketball and stuff like that. So could you work with the church to where they would lease, like if somebody wanted to come in and hold a party when church isn't in, could they use it that way?
That's not a bad idea, that's a possibility.
That's a really good idea, as far as writing that into the lease.
Sharing it.
The issue is, you're gonna have more management with probably less opportunity for income if you use it as a community center. Somebody's gotta manage that.
Yep.
Somebody's gotta manage it, they're gonna have to schedule it, they're gonna have to phone call, all that stuff. I'm not saying that that's not a good idea, I'm just saying, keep in mind that there's gonna be some management involved with that, as well as maintenance and such. The situation with the church, they're gonna make improvements, and so as Adam was saying, I think it needs to be long-term because they're gonna invest. But you come to the end of that lease, you've got an improved building that we've made income on over that, whatever, 5-year period, I'll just throw that out there, 5-year period. And that gives us time enough to think and to work out, what do we really wanna do with that property? Maybe then we turn it actually into the community center after that lease is over. It's just, these are just thoughts. Or we decide to do something else different with that property, whatever that something else is. We don't know.
So I think what maybe we need to do is, that building is, in its entirety, is large enough to do both. Right? It's large enough to have house something.
Yeah.
And have a community center.
Yeah.
And if we looked at it that way, what would be the expense of moving our street department?
I should say, where it's gonna work
That's
out.
what I was saying. Where are we moving Brad?
So we just opened up more of a can of worms.
I think that's just down the line. I mean, do you really see that happening
Come see,
anytime
come
soon? You do see that happening soon?
No.
No,
See,
that's
Oh,
I
not,
see
yeah.
it happening.
Yeah.
it's a possibility.
I really like the idea, though. I think the church would be really excited about renting it out for a community center, because that's what they're all about.
Okay, so,
Yes.
right,
Then what are we
community,
gonna
yeah,
do
you're
with
right,
All
the
kinds
church.
of communities.
So let's say you suggested to the church, and they say, yeah, we'll share for the community center. What are we doing with Brad?
Well, right now, they
Just-
still have the
just the
garage. They still have the garage and all that.
But they're wanting to turn the garage into the sanctuary and everything else.
That was not in the initial
So
plan.
you're going all the way to the garage?
Yes.
They are, Ultimately,
all the way to the garage.
but that was not happening right at first.
Okay, they go all the way to the garage, and that's put an office in that little 10 by 10 area where their evidence room is. No air conditioning, no nothing like that.
Now,
No
you're gonna be taken care of, Brad. We won't forget our water and street people.
I'll just work on my truck.
You
Is
do
there
anyway.
another building they can go to, like, and have everything? I mean, could be realistic, get them a new office.
Well, we have options. We can build something new,
Where?
or,
We could even add on.
yeah, we could add on. There's other property that potentially is available sooner or later.
I know Yorktown took theirs and moved it into their park that they don't use a lot anymore, which was the Lions Club Park. They took their whole street department and moved it up there to the community center that I grew up using, and they just expanded on that and turned it into what they needed. Cause it's a little more out of the way, they have all kinds of space, you know,
Is
so.
there any room to put an office at the water plant?
I don't know.
Nothing can be built, right, because it's within the 200 feet.
I probably better add off to the back of it. That's it.
You're talking parking vehicles, you got backhoes
All that
and
doesn't
stuff.
need to be solved tonight. They don't go into the garage immediately. They're cutting off before they get into the main part of the garage.
So, right,
So there's no office for them. You have to build an
How-
office for them.
realistically, how much can you micromanage a tenant? You know, because I think that's kind of where we're getting here, right? Like, yeah, we'll rent the space to you, but we want you to do this, we want you to do this, and your hours must be this.
So you're gonna need to go through the public operating process. Can't just say we're gonna go to the church right now because you have to ask everybody. So you just write an RFP that has everything you want in it. And you kind of just force them to bid what you want. And then you don't have to worry about it from there.
Okay.
It's,
That
you
makes
have to want all
sense.
this stuff to say, this is what we want, and if you don't like that, don't bid.
As in, you'd say, we have to have a parking lot available at this time.
Yeah.
Okay,
All the stipulations.
I like that.
And at that point, then, anybody could bid for it. I like that too.
No, so might be something else out there.
And if we decided the community building, because that was my original thought.
I knew we had talked about
Community
that
building
a long time ago, I think,
Yeah.
that it was mentioned.
But the church approached us.
Right, yeah, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm not
Well,
opposed
they
to it
have
at
a
all.
hub right there.
I know,
You know, they want to be.
and it makes sense, it does.
But they are very community
Yes,
involved.
absolutely, I know. My only thought, might it alienate some people who are maybe against an organized religion, which is none of my business because I'm not against it, but some people are.
But initially, we would still, and the only thing down the road that I worry about is monitoring of the splash pad and how many crashes the splash pad as a town, if they extend, but if we're keeping buildings there somehow, I guess it would still be there.
Okay, so it sounds like to me an RFP may be the next step.
So, do they need a motion to do that?
Yeah, we'll have someone who to, I guess it would be, someone like a draft RFP. Or at least, parameters that you're looking for.
It's gotta be in like 10 minutes.
We need a motion to proceed with an RFP process.
Okay, and then can we move to comp time discussion?
Okay, I thought we had that done.
It is done. I mean, it's not done. We'll just have a discussion. We'll just move it to next month. That's fine.
So, yeah,
So what else you need to?
Nothing, I just didn't to leave and leave you guys.
that's why I was asking if there was any other item of interest that you wanted
So we need a motion to proceed with an RFP process
for the use.
for the use of the old town hall.
Yeah, all right, so I'll make a motion that we pretty quickly create an RFP for the use of Old Town Hall, the front half of Old Town Hall.
All right, can I get a second?
Marty seconded.
Any discussion? All right, Amy?
Roll call?
Yeah.
Steve Grogan?
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Amy Carter,
Yes.
Tom Robbins.
Yes,
Who's gonna draft that?
the man.
Well, who's gonna give Joe the information?
Well,
I think you all need to give them input. on
yeah, I
that.
think we're gonna have a email discussion of bullet points that we
I just
want.
say you got the list of the things that are.
Okay, email discussion.
And I think the two important ones is that there is community space or community time available, and then also
Hours.
hours.
In reference to
In
parking,
reference,
sure.
yeah, in reference to like the splash pad.
Yeah,
Um,
at least over the summer, I guess in the winter it wouldn't matter, but
right,
you know,
during summer hours.
during, yeah, water park hours.
Are you guys good with any flexibility on Sunday hours?
I mean, Tom had mentioned like, what'd you say, 11:30 or something, give them an extra hour to clear out of there.
30 minutes is all I could need, really.
Well, I mean, what if
Most of
they,
the cars would be out.
I know, but like, at my church, once a month, we have dinners, you know, and things like that, you know, I mean,
Well, on those dates, we might ask them to use different parking. We will encourage using a certain parking anyway.
Okay.
So,
Well, there's some of it would not be, regardless of if a tenant comes in there, some of that parking will not be accessible at all. This is not to be used for that. We can also look at putting some gravel down, back by the dumpster.
okay.
So additional parking there.
Well, and the gentleman that owns the, little store over here has oftentimes said, park back there, park
yeah,
back there, park back there.
he's all for it.
So, yeah, I think that once they know that and become comfortable, if they start parking over there, then it may not be an issue at all anyway.
There's
So for-
enough
so for-
separate spots out front from the police and for
Mhm.
the clerk, parks and everything. You're picking them up now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where before they was, off limits to everybody.
And you could limit, I mean, they could have their dinners and such, that isn't during
Offsite.
the time when the water park is open. In other words, it's in the fall, winter, early spring
Right,
period.
Or they could rent the pavilion.
Or you could put the-
Okay.
So maybe an
Sounds
hour.
good.
Whoever it would be, their Sunday hours, let's say at the church, if some restaurant came in, then I mean, that would be a no-go. Like,
Right.
Then we couldn't micromanage like that. But something along that lines, we'd say, hey, we can give you an hour of our time, but you need to be out by this time.
There might be some business that fit during those hours too.
We really are open to other ideas.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
I
agree.
think the RFP.
James mentioned the town homes, and I said, that's always a possibility.
Right.
And that eventually that could end up being a strip of townhomes.
Mhm.
And
Well,
Parking.
right here too, in the corner.
Right,
My point, right, yeah, over here,
over here.
yeah.
which might make that space extremely attractive.
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
Something else. Okay.
Okay, sign for the new town hall. You got Amy wants to get a sign for the new town hall. And,
Oh, not just Amy.
yeah, it's just Amy.
Yes.
She lets put things on the sign. I like
It doesn't have to be exactly like that. We did take the Bronco from the school.
And how much is it?
22,000.
Who's doing it?
This is Stuart Sign, the same person that did our sign out here. Same software, same, now that's,
Is there a price? There's no price on it.
there's a price in there.
Looks like it.
Anyway, where are we gonna put it?
Go ahead, right, where are we at? Oh, right out here.
But that 22,000 would come out of the, the building, the available money as far as the building bill,
Sorry.
right?
Construction costs.
Yes,
The construction
yes,
costs of the building.
construction costs, so it would not come out of the town budget at all. That's the only reason I
I'm all
suggest.
for it.
It runs off the same software, it doesn't have to be designed exactly like this, we can pick a different design.
But it would be impossible to move the other one.
Yeah.
No,
Anywhere
it's
even
not.
close to that price.
Well, and if, I mean, with the splash pad there, events still should be, advertised there.
Yeah, I think that's.
It can still be ran from here.
It would be nice to see if we could link them.
Well, they don't necessarily need to read the same thing though. I can probably do it. There's a way to do it in software that I already have. But that's changing the sign from here today.
Yeah, so say you should have been able to.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get a motion?
Do we have to RFP?
No.
Technically need to at least invite quotes.
More quotes.
How many, you just got one, right?
Oh, yeah. I just called to get an idea of what we were
Oh,
looking
okay.
at today.
Yeah.
So we need to get quotes. I'm sorry,
this is who
Jeremy.
did it last
You
time.
need to talk tonight, Jeremy? We need to get quotes?
Okay.
Technically, I mean, yeah.
So why don't we make a motion to accept up to that amount? But we need quotes. At least one additional?
You need to invite 3 quotes.
Okay.
You don't have to actually receive them, you just have to ask 3 total.
3 companies, so I need to,
So 2 others.
okay.
Contact 2 other companies at whatever, did you find the price?
Well,
Really, right now, let's wait till next month.
But
So do I need, so I can just present them at the next meeting?
The maximum.
I'll just get them and present them at the next meeting.
Yeah, that's,
I'll just present them at
Just
the next
present them
meeting
next
and we can figure it out.
Okay.
All right, good.
So I need 3.
amendment to the art plan.
Yeah, what's that?
Because of the change in the, how the
Do
feds
I,
say
is it not in there?
use the art money, we are under the $10 million buffer, and so we can spend all our money for anything the general fund, anything the town funds can spend money on, is that right? I don't see that.
Yeah, John sent a resolution, I thought this is the problem with the move, sorry guys.
Yeah, I know.
Things got
Well,
shuffled.
can we approve it? Even though, I mean, it's just a standard, I got it here.
They sent the, yeah,
Well, it was John Brook, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why did you let him take credit for that, Joe?
I don't know, I didn't.
but the new exception,
That one, but-
yeah, the new
I think you
exception.
had an ordinance for that one earlier, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I started to work on that and then John sent what he had.
I mean, I guess you use either one. The state board of health directive says we use an ordinance, but yeah, like the resolution, they don't make a difference, I guess.
Well, here's the ordinance, so.
That's
Did
all I-
John do an ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay,
good, yeah.
We're going to read it, so we can get it passed.
I can.
Ordinance number, I don't know what it'd be, 22 dash,
2022. Ten,
ordinance declaring receipt of funding from the American Rescue Plan Act and revenue replacement. Whereas the federal government has adopted the ARP plan, which has been signed into law by the President of the United States, whereas the Department of Treasury has issued final rules, now therefore be ordained by the town board of the town of Delville that as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, the town lost revenue in its accounts. The town declares that all the funds received as a result of the ARP plan is declared revenue replacement. That's because of that $10 million buffer we have. Basically, if you got less than $10 million, you can use it for anything.
we got 386,000.
The funds are to remain in the ARP plan established by the town, may be used by for municipal purposes. All expenditures of the funds to the town's ARP grant fund shall be approved by the town board. Money in the ARP grant fund should not be transferred to any other fund of the town, and no money received in the ARP grant shall be used for any type of deposit into the pension fund. So that's what, this will replace the other ARP fund implementation plan we had, but, which was more specific on park, water utility infrastructure,
And premium pay.
and premium pay.
Exactly, I just want to make sure that doesn't.
That's all, that doesn't change a thing.
Okay.
It just adds that you can use it for lost revenue as well.
So we have to do an introduction and waiver and all that.
You can't,
Suspension.
we can't actually do it, introduce today, and,
Yeah, because Tammy left.
yeah. Unfortunately, because you need, 67% of your board.
So you don't want to just wait till next month to do it all?
Might as well introduce it tonight, you just.
Yeah.
go and keep it
All
on.
right, so who wants to introduce it? Who wants this?
I'll promise I'll have it all in order.
You'll read it.
Yeah, the good eyes.
Just make the introduction for the reading of ordinance 2022-10.
10?
10, I believe.
10,
Somewhere.
which had to do with the rewrite or reallocation of our money, our planned monies.
Second?
Do roll call, Amy.
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes. All right.
The comp time is a quickie. Don't do that.
Boardroom table. After much searching for a boardroom table, we found one a block down the road.
Jimmy had one for sale.
The Fuller
Yeah.
Fuller Architecture came down here and he was excited and he's already drawn up plans for it. It's gonna be like a V shape that 7 people can sit at. And it's gonna be a really nice desk, boardroom table. And he is going to donate some of it. But the charge is still gonna be between $10,000 and $15,000 somewhere in there. He hasn't given me a total amount. This is a one-time thing, and it'll be here forever, and we'll use the money that we have available
Where are we getting the money?
from the building.
Oh, the building.
And if it's not there, we'll use ARP or we'll use edit monies. But it's, we need to do this. We're not gonna sit at this.
So keep in mind, I struggled with this like tremendously. We looked at a ton of tables and they're ridiculously expensive.
I think we should do it while we can.
I know.
Yes.
It is, he
Wasn't he
has great
beautiful?
ideas.
Not that my penny counts.
He even wanted to put ballistics in the front. So if someone walked in to shoot, we could live for a couple seconds longer.
More time to think about it.
I told him that was okay.
But
Didn't
yes,
have to
it's
worry about
gonna
that
be,
part.
it's gonna have a ledge here and lighting for us and everything. That way you can see.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's just, he is real excited about it and he does.
We get to create it,
Have you ever
right?
been down there? He does quality work.
Yes.
I'm telling you, he's.
And we're keeping it local.
He
Yeah.
sold a
I love it.
$100,000 table to the Alumni Center at Ball State. He built a $100,000 boardroom table.
Wow.
He said,
We're
we
getting a
don't need
deal.
one like that.
Yeah, he said, he
Yeah.
says he's gonna do something. And he says this will be for the town.
Good.
So,
Is it Adam or Freddie?
but anyway, I don't want any
Fred.
motion. What's that?
Fred,
I don't want any motion tonight. I just wanted to let you know what we're up to. If you want to tell me no, forget it. But otherwise, we'll go on.
otherwise we're
Just move.
having this.
Okay, we did the solar award, summer park series. Oh, Adam, town of Delaware ad purchases. And we've done this before, so.
Yes, yeah, so the request is that the town of Daleville sponsor Daleville, I guess Daleville Athletics and Events. What they're asking for is $1,250, and that would be basically the town of Daleville proudly supports Daleville and Daleville Athletics. That'll be on the indoor boards, ad boards, and also will be on the program.
Is that for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
That's your motion.
That's my motion.
I'll say.
Any discussion? It's a great purpose,
Yeah, that's
so.
I remember we've done it before.
$1,200.
Yeah, it's great.
And we can use that out of betterment of the town.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, good. Anything else? Jeremy, you sure you don't want to say something?
Hi, everybody.
It's only 20 till 9 now. This is the longest meeting of the year.
I cannot believe you didn't have something else better to do.
You all were on my list that I needed to come to, that's all. And, yeah, really the only update I've got is we're gonna have, I'm gonna schedule a meeting here soon. And we probably are gonna wanna think about whether we do some sort of a public meeting to get some of our local easements signed. So, that'll be fun.
Well, it's a great time for that, this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody sitting out of the house and run everywhere else.
Yeah. Make a motion that we adjourn.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Adjournment.
Oh, I'll say.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you all.
Joe, if you guys-
Okay, let's hear.
Hello, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.